Neon Power Pro wiring is a specialized type of electrical wiring designed for neon signs. It's known for its flexibility and waterproof construction. Key features include not needing conduit sleeves for through-wall installations. Neon Power Pro wiring has a fire-retardant coating that meets building codes. This removes the need for traditional conduit sleeves when running the wiring through walls. It also doesn't require standoffs. The wiring's flexibility allows it to be mounted directly on walls or other surfaces without standoffs. Multiple Neon Power Pro wires can be safely bundled together to make installation easier and reduce clutter. When putting Neon Power Pro wiring through fire-rated walls, keep these things in mind. Use fire-rated caulk or sealant. The holes made for the wiring must be sealed with fire-rated caulk or sealant to keep the wall's fire resistance rating. Follow local building codes. Check local building codes and talk to a qualified electrician to make sure the installation is done right and meets fire safety rules. Think about fire stopping measures. Besides sealing penetrations, you might need fire-rated putty or foam to improve the wall's fire resistance. Regularly inspect and maintain. Regularly check the wiring and fire stopping measures to make sure they are in good condition and working properly over time. There are benefits to using Neon Power Pro wiring in fire-rated walls. Firstly, it reduces installation time and cost. Not needing conduit sleeves and standoffs can save time and materials during installation. Secondly, it enhances flexibility. The wiring's flexibility allows for easy routing and adjustment even in tight spaces. Thirdly, it improves safety. Fire-rated coatings and caulk help maintain the fire resistance of the wall and reduce the risk of fire spread. Neon Power Pro wiring is suitable for neon sign installations and fire-rated walls when properly installed and sealed using fire-rated materials. By following building codes, using best practices, and maintaining the wiring and fire-stopping measures, safety and longevity is achieved. The fire-retardant material used in Neon Power Pro wiring typically undergoes testing to ensure it meets specific fire resistance standards. These standards are often defined by organizations like Underwriters Laboratories, or AL, or other relevant regulatory bodies. The specific UL standard that may apply depends on the intended use of the wiring and the applicable building codes. The fire-retardant coating is designed to slow down or prevent the spread of fire along the wiring. This helps to contain a fire within a specific area and prevents it from quickly spreading to other parts of the building. The fire resistance rating of the wiring refers to the amount of time it can withstand exposure to fire without failing. This rating is typically expressed in minutes or hours and is determined through standardized fire testing. Building codes often specify the minimum fire resistance rating required for wiring installed in fire-rated walls. When selecting Neon Power Pro wiring for a fire-rated wall installation, it's essential to verify that the wiring has been tested and certified to meet the applicable fire resistance standards. This information is usually provided by the manufacturer in the product specifications or certification documents. Fire-rated caulk and sealant play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of fire-rated walls when penetrations are made for wiring or other services. These materials are specifically formulated to resist the passage of fire and smoke through openings in the wall. Fire-rated caulk and sealant typically expand when exposed to high temperatures. This expansion helps to fill gaps and seal the penetration, preventing the spread of fire and smoke to adjacent areas. When selecting fire-rated caulk and sealant, it's essential to choose products that are compatible with the wiring and the wall materials. The product specification should indicate the types of materials that the caulk or sealant is suitable for. The application of fire-rated caulk and sealant should be done carefully to ensure a complete and effective seal. The instructions provided by the manufacturer should be followed closely, including the recommended thickness and coverage area. Building codes often specify the types of fire-rated caulk and sealant that are acceptable for use in fire-rated walls. It's essential to verify that the selected products meet the requirements of the local building code. Fire-stopping measures are additional precautions taken to prevent the spread of fire and smoke through concealed spaces within a building, such as wall cavities or floor ceiling assemblies. These measures typically involve the use of fire-resistant materials to seal gaps and openings that could allow fire and smoke to spread. Fire-rated putty and foam are common fire-stopping materials that can be used to seal penetrations around wiring and other surfaces. These materials are designed to expand when exposed to heat, creating a tight seal that prevents the passage of fire and smoke. The selection of fire-stopping materials should be based on the specific requirements of the building code and the recommendations of a qualified fire protection engineer. The installation of fire-stopping materials should be done carefully to ensure that all gaps and openings are properly sealed. The instructions provided by the manufacturer should be followed closely. Regular inspection and maintenance of wiring and fire-stopping measures are essential to ensure their continued effectiveness. Wiring should be inspected for signs of damage or deterioration, such as cracks, abrasions, or corrosion. Fire-stopping materials should be inspected to ensure that they are still in good condition and properly sealing penetrations. Any damaged or deteriorated wiring or fire-stopping material should be repaired or replaced promptly. Regular maintenance can help to prevent fire hazards and ensure the safety of the building. Consulting with a qualified electrician is highly recommended when installing Neon Power Pro wiring in fire-rated walls. A qualified electrician has the knowledge and experience to ensure that the installation is done correctly and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. An electrician can also provide guidance on the selection of appropriate fire-rated materials and fire-stopping measures. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations, including requirements for wiring in fire-rated walls. Article 300.21 of the NEC addresses the requirements for maintaining the fire resistance rating of walls, floors, and ceilings when penetrations are made for electrical wiring. This section requires that the fire resistance rating of the assembly be maintained through the use of approved methods such as fire-rated caulk, sealant, or fire-stopping materials. The NEC also contains specific requirements for the type of wiring that can be used in fire-rated walls. Certain types of wiring, such as metal-clad cable, or MC cable, and rigid metal conduit, or RMC, are inherently fire-resistant and may not require additional fire-stopping measures. However, other types of wiring, such as non-metallic sheathed cable or NM cable, typically require additional fire-stopping to maintain the fire resistance rating of the wall. The NEC also specifies the requirements for bonding and grounding electrical systems to ensure electrical safety. Proper bonding and grounding can help to prevent electrical shock hazards and reduce the risk of fire. Building codes often incorporate or reference the NEC, so it's essential to comply with the requirements of both the NEC and the local building code. The local building code may have additional requirements or restrictions that are not covered in the NEC. It's also important to obtain the necessary permits and inspections before starting any electrical work. Permits and inspections help to ensure that the work is done safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. The cost of installing Neon Power Pro wiring in fire-rated walls can vary depending on several factors, including the complexity of the installation, the type of fire-rated materials used, and the labor rates in the area. Obtaining multiple quotes from qualified electricians can help to ensure that you are getting a fair price for the work. When comparing quotes, be sure to consider the scope of work included, the quality of the materials used, and the experience and qualifications of the electrician. It's also important to ask for references and check the electrician's license and insurance. In summary, Neon Power Pro wiring can be a suitable and compliant solution for neon sign installations in fire-rated walls when properly installed and sealed using fire-rated materials. It is crucial to adhere to building codes, employ best practices, and maintain the wiring and fire-stopping measures to ensure the safety and longevity of the installation. Consulting with a qualified electrician and obtaining the necessary permits and inspections are also essential steps in the process. Proper planning, careful execution, and ongoing maintenance can help to minimize fire hazards and protect lives and property. Firstly, always check local building codes before commencing any work. Secondly, use fire-rated caulk or sealant when penetrating the wall. Thirdly, consider fire-stopping measures to enhance fire resistance. Fourthly, regularly inspect and maintain the wiring and fire-stopping measures. Fifthly, consult with a qualified electrician. Sixthly, comply with the National Electrical Code. Seventhly, obtain necessary permits and inspections. Eighthly, get multiple quotes from qualified electricians. Ninthly, follow manufacturer's instructions for installation. Tenthly, ensure proper bonding and grounding of electrical systems. Remember to keep the area clean and organized during the installation process. This will help to prevent accidents and ensure that the work is done efficiently. Dispose of any waste materials properly. Do not leave any loose wires or debris in the area. After the installation is complete, test the wiring to ensure that it is working properly. Use a multimeter or other testing equipment to check the voltage and current. If you encounter any problems, consult with a qualified electrician. The information provided in this narration is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or other professional before undertaking any electrical work. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's essential to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others.